Hi, this is another edition of Johnny Speaks. This is your producer of the show. My name is Teresa. I'm the mother of the host of the show, which is my son Johnny Blue. And today we're going to talk about Roe versus Wade and what's next. And further, without ado, I want to introduce my son as the host, Johnny. But I do want to say, I want to thank you for watching our video today. And I want to state to you that the information we provide today is our opinions only, that we are not trying to tell you what to do, but we're just offering our opinions of the results of Roe versus Wade and how it's going to affect the entire United States. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce the best part of Johnny Speaks. It's my son, Johnny.
Oh, hello. Thank you, Mom. Yeah, so this is Johnny. Um, yeah, so as you all know, Roe versus Wade was overturned on Friday, June 24th from the Supreme Court, which that means that it's illegal across the country, but it's up to the states if they want to allow abortion to take place. And um I feel that the Supreme Court made a huge mistake because you have women that get raped and incest that occurs, and like no one should have to be forced to give birth to a baby that came from horrible circumstances like that. And also too, it takes away a woman's right to choose. And um like women have a lot of issues they gotta go through with their menstrual cycles and all the reproductive stuff that men don't really know or understand about. And I feel that men shouldn't be telling women how to control their bodies, especially since we as men don't go through the same changes that women do. And um it's just not right. You got anything to say?
Yes, I do. I would like to say, first of all, well put, Johnny. I appreciate
Thank you.
your comments and everything. I have a lot to say about this subject. I like to tell you guys I am a 50-year-old woman who's the mother of Johnny. He's 28. And if you guys know Johnny, Johnny's a disabled adult. He's been disabled since he was a child. And I feel like, you know, as a woman, I feel like it is definitely my right to do whatever I want with my body. I know that action has consequences, especially when you lay up with someone, right? I feel that birth control is a two-party step. Often in our country, in our society, we leave birth control for the woman to deal with. If her IUD, her pill, or whatever shot she gets in the arm fails after she has intimacy with a man, all of a sudden it's her fault that she got pregnant.
Yeah,
Uh,
according to society's
I'm
eyes.
going to side eyes. And first of all, I will say this, and I'm sorry if I offend anyone. I want to say I love men. I love men. But I'm going to say something that's going to affect or may offend some men. A lot of men don't want to take that step and use a condom when they have relations with a woman. Okay. These unwanted pregnancies, or now I don't say mistakes, but could be avoided by a condom that can cost, a box can cost $3. And these days they're giving away for free. There's no reason why, if to help prevent it, if it's put on properly. Not if you put on it sloppily, but if you put it on properly and you have responsible relations, a lot of this stuff could be avoided. Now, what happens if, let's say if the man and the woman decide to use that and it hole in it breaks, defected, whatever. Then we have um, an unexpected pregnancy. And maybe these people are in positions where they can't, like women, usually women, a lot of us end up with responsibilities because of various reasons. If we can't afford to have another child or a child, period, we may not be in a financial situation to do this, or you may just don't want any kids, which is understandable because that's your right. How can how can the government tell us as women, no, you can't choose to have an abortion? No, even in rape, incest, all types of horrible situations that a woman is, or if a life is in a state of a result of carrying a child, they tell her no, she can't do it. How about this, government? Okay, since you want to tell us as women that we can't control our reproductive system, how about we don't pay taxes? How about we don't do certain things that you require us to do? If you don't pay taxes, you go to jail, right? Now you're telling us if we sneak and try to have an abortion, and it's the state's decisions now. If we choose to go to a state to have an abortion because it's illegal in the state that we live in, then we can go to jail, or we could be thrown in jail or prosecuted because of that. Where is the government when people have children that can't afford it? Where's the government to step in and say, hey, I'm going to help you out? You get what I'm saying? So, because a lot of times the men are not going to step up. Not all men. There's some good fathers out here, but there are a lot of men that will not step up, and and that woman's just stuck, you know, dealing with a child that she is not equipped to raise for whatever reason. John, you have something to say?
Yeah. Also, going back to the whole, if the condom breaks and stuff, they also have the Plan B pill. But depending on the state you are, since this ruling, that would make, even besides abortion, like Plan B pills, that would make it illegal to even access that if it's no longer legal. And the morning after pill, Plan B, it has a pretty high success rate. It's not 100%, but I believe it's like over 70% success, I believe. And it's not even right because within a few hours of a day, if you know the reproductive stuff or how to make a baby, the woman may not even be pregnant yet, because it could take up to 5 days for a pregnancy to occur. Well, the sperm meets the egg. But according to these the Supreme Court that's against abortion, that approved of it, they're acting like it's an abortion just to prevent a pregnancy from occurring. And it's not an abortion, in my opinion, because there's no baby created. And also, too, even if there was a baby, you should be able to make your own decisions whether you want to keep the baby or not. And it could be an everyday woman. It could be any race of woman. And like my mom said, might not be ready for a baby, maybe raped, maybe getting abused, and the man tries to trap her with a baby to keep her there. So, that's keeping women in situations they don't want to be in. And then also too, as a result of abortion too, it's going to result in a lot of what they call it back alley abortions, or the do-it-yourself abortions, like the coat hangers and stuff like that. And with that stuff, there's not a medical setting, and it's risky because it can have excessive bleeding occur and an infection. And then since it is secretive, since it is illegal for the woman or the young girl to end her pregnancy, then she can't even get the help she needs in order to complete the termination and also deal with any after effects of it. And that can lead to unnecessary deaths because, if you have an abortion in a medical facility, you have a good chance of living through it because, they have all the medical equipment, medical supplies, and knowledge about all that stuff. And also, too, it leads to, if the woman didn't want the pregnancy, it could lead to her resenting the child or even abusing the child if that occurs. Because, or they could end up living in poverty because it was unplanned. And especially if the father's not involved. And um the and also too, like before Roe versus Wade was first put in 1973, you had a lot of back alley abortions, they call them, and a lot of times it was botched, of course, like I said earlier, for the reasons. And so, like, the women had to live in fear of social ramifications from her community, from the state, from the government, and it caused a lot of emotional trauma as well as physical trauma. And like, women shouldn't be told what to do with their bodies, and like the levels to prevent pregnancy as well as the end pregnancy, regardless of how someone may think, they it shouldn't be regulated like that. Like, it's up to that individual person what they want to do with the pregnancy or not, and as well as life in general. You got something to say?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Johnny. Very well said. Okay. So, okay, now that this has been decided, you know, President Biden brought up something interesting about a little bit after this decision was made. He said there is one way that we can flip this Roe versus Wade. He says Congress can actually vote to overturn the Supreme Court decision. Now, if our Congress people really care about us, which I don't think they don't, by the way, um, politics plays a lot of mess in this, okay? I don't want to get too political with it because I know some people feel a certain way about it, but it's no way that the government should be trying to tell every woman in America, girls, women, this affects so much. People don't realize it. The moment a girl has her period, she is part of Roe versus Wade. Okay. There are girls as young as 7. Not to put my business out there. I had my first period when I was 7 years old. Guess what, guys? I had a potential of becoming pregnant at 7 if I was messing around or got anything happened sexually. So there are girls out here who are having periods, maybe not quite as young as 7 like I did, but maybe like around 10, 11, when the girl's body starts changing from a girl to a woman. So let's say the average age a girl has her menstrual. Let's say 12. Okay, let's say 12. 12 is a good number. So from 12 all the way till menopause. And menopause can go along, depending on the woman. I know 60-year-old women who are still having periods. Okay. So let's bring that age gap from 12 to 65. So you got to worry about, okay, if something happens to me, if I get attacked, if I get molested, if I get raped, or or just something that happened that your birth control failed, the regular way. So you don't have the right or the choice of to be able to choose whether you want to keep a baby or not. Now, I will say this though. I believe personally abortion should be legal. I do think there should be a cutoff in the months that abortion can happen. I believe that if it's under 4 months, it's okay. Once you've hit the fourth month, I think that outside of rape, outside of being attacked, outside of incest,
or risk to the mom,
or risk to the mom,
it gets found out after
if
4
it's
months.
just regular situations where outside of those issues, I think 4 months should be the cutoff. But if it's any of those extenuating circumstances, it can happen whenever the woman feels that she cannot handle it. Because also, this is causing mental stress for the woman. Guys, I want you to think about this for a second. A lot of you guys have girlfriends, you have wives, you have sisters, you have mothers, cousins that are nieces, the female population, daughters. We are 50% of America, okay? If you say you love us, you have to love us totally. People often mix religion with this. I don't believe that should be mixed. I do think if you're a person who is religious, no disrespect, if you're against abortion, that's for yourself. You have no right to say that every woman can't do it. Just say, for me personally, I don't agree with it and I wouldn't do it. But don't force your views on any other woman if she feels that she needs to do it. But I also will tell you this. I do believe outside of incest, outside of rape, outside of any ridiculous circumstances that's beyond a woman's control, right? I do believe also there should be a limit of the number of abortions that a woman should have. And this is only for her own safety. This has nothing to do with saving nobody's butt. This has to, because, I mean, too many will cause a problem. You know what I mean? So I get that part and I understand that part. But let that be my choice, you know what I mean, or what I want to do with my body. And I'm sure that majority of women probably feel that way. You got a few women who are out there who believe whatever, and no one's telling you that you're wrong. If you believe that for yourself, hallelujah, okay? Hallelujah, okay? But don't tell me and the other women that believe, and by the way, I'll tell you, I've never had an abortion, okay? So if you're thinking that I had a bunch of abortions, no. He's my only one child. And I'm 50. He's my only one child. And I love this one here with all my heart. Believe me. And I would have never aborted him. You know what I'm saying? But you can't tell me what to do. You know what I mean? So I just want to say I support women, because women have had to fight for years for rights, for different things, and they're taking us back to the old days. Because as a result of this too, men have to listen to this very carefully. A lot of women are going to be forced to have these babies they can't afford. If they want to work or not, they probably won't be able to. You know what I'm saying? Because childcare is going to be too expensive. You know what I mean? different things are going to be too expensive. We are going into a recession, guys, because of the war that's going on overseas, you know? And I believe that we really need to look deep in here and deep in your hearts and support each other as far as things like this. There are too many things going on in the world right now to be worried about Roe versus Wade, something that passed in 1973, and all of a sudden you guys wake up in the Supreme Court. I'm about to get on y'all in just a minute. I'm gonna turn it over to my son Johnny and turn it down.
Yeah, so that's what she said, abortion is an individual right and choice, and like my mom said, it shouldn't be told from it, from anyone that's not in that situation, whether you agree with it or not. And um, like the Supreme Court, like with this decision, it appears that no one, like definitely from the Supreme Court, they don't really support a woman's well-being, and also too by forcing her to have a baby that she can't have. They only really care about the baby until it's born, and then when the baby's born, you're on your own. So soon from 0 weeks to 40 weeks of pregnancy, they're pro-life stuff like that. And as soon as the baby's born and you don't have the resources, then they talking about you bad. And then they like, oh, that's your problem. And that's what the Supreme Court was saying. People that share that mindset, the conservative party. So I'll jump that back to you.
Thank you, Johnny. Now I'm about to get on something real serious, okay? So all these so-called judges who made the decision about a woman's body, by the way. First of all, no disrespect to the elderly, I love elderly. But all our judges are, if they're women, they're past reproductive time. Okay, let's just be real. Okay, not to be ignorant. And the guys are so old that they're probably past reproductive too. Okay, let's just be real about it. But they're making decisions for those of us who are still able, still have, or still could be reproductive, or we still have capability of having children, right? Now, something really struck a nerve with me, particularly one judge, Clarence Thomas. That man is something else. I'm gonna be nice about it. I really want to say something crazy, but I'm not. But this man, of all people, should know better, because he's saying now he got Roe versus Wade. He's gonna go back and revisit some other rights that been on the books that he's wanting to review and overturn. First of all, Clarence, if those of you don't know Clarence Thomas, he's the older black guy on the Supreme Court, and he's married to a white lady. Okay. Now, I'm going to say this because I can speak on this because I'm in an interracial relationship with a man who happens to be white and Mexican. But
And
so
also too, I'm mixed race myself.
Yeah, his father, yeah.
Yeah, because my dad's mostly white, and you see my mom's black, and then I got some Mexican ancestry, and Egyptian, and Greek, Italian, British, black, Egyptian. So
So we have a right to speak on this. This is what
I'm mixed race, and then she's married to my dad, who's white essentially, majority white, and now she's dating a mixed race man. Yeah. We both have the right to to talk about this, just in case anybody don't think that we don't know what we're talking about. Because since I am mixed race and she dated men of other races, we have the right to actually speak on this, and we actually know from personal experience.
Yes, and by the way,
just in case anybody would say we don't.
And by the way, my current boyfriend is a vet. He served in the Army in the Iran-Contra thing from 79 to 82. So thanks to all our military vets along with him. So what I'm about to say is, since Clarence Thomas is talking about taking it back to the old days, what if they banned the loving thing? And those who are not familiar with loving is the fact that there was a black lady and a white man that fought for the right for them to be married. Okay. And loving got passed.
In 1967.
Yeah, 1967, loving got passed. This is the reason today why blacks and whites or whites and other nationalities can be married to each other. And also comfortably date as well. Because before those laws came out, that stuff was a taboo. And Clarence Thomas should know this because he's been married to his wife, Jenny, who's a white lady, for a long time. Probably when that law came out, probably.
And also, too, like, Clarence Thomas, 74, so when Loving was passed, I mean, this man was about 19 or 20. So, he can't even say that he's not aware of that because he was literally an adult.
Thank you.
So he can't say that, he don't have any knowledge of what that, because if he did, he's obviously lying.
He's a bald-faced liar.
He was 19 or 20, of course you know.
Absolutely. So,
and it's allowed him to marry who he loves so much. So, be careful on what you wish for. And you can't go too far back because then it's going to start impacting him directly. He forgets that.
I think he's forgotten who he is. At the end of the day, no matter who you're married to, who you're dating, you're still black. Okay? So, and for me too, because he knows the struggles of what minorities go through. And in the Constitution, a woman is considered to be a minority. It's still in that same group. Wake up, Clarence Thomas. Wake up, Amy Coney Barrett, who's a woman. Wake up, Brett Kavanaugh. That's another dude that, by the way, that raped a woman. And luckily, she didn't get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? And this is a dude that voted to outlaw abortion. Do you know what I'm saying? So, for those who think that this does not affect them, men, it affects you. Because a lot of times men often, like if a woman gets pregnant by him, he's often saying, babe, go get abortion. Because he either not ready for a child or he doesn't want to be financially obligated for a child or whatever the situation is. Guess what? They outlawed it. So guys, if you impregnate a woman now,
you're gonna take responsibility.
You're gonna take responsibility for it,
whether you want to
or not. And now the cases for child support gonna go up now.
It sure will.
So you guys who because not all men are agreeing with the decision Roe versus Wade. No. There's some men that do back women up, that love us and believe that we should have the rights, right? But for those guys, this affects you too. So now in this case, guys, this has been overruled or overturned. Guys, let me give you a little education. You guys think that birth control, a pill, an IUD, or a shot in the arm, an implant, that's only 50% effective.
Because the condoms, if it's used correctly, it'd be up to 98% effective, which means it only has like a 2 to 3% fail rate. if it's applied correctly.
Mhm.
So, it's simple, it's free. And even if you do buy it, they got many varieties. They even have the condoms for different sizes, and also they got condoms that you forget it's even on. Like, it almost feels like skin on skin. So they can't even use that excuse. Oh, no. Oh, it feels in with a condom. Because if you feel that way, then you got to make sure that you go for the type of condom that makes you feel that you may not have anything on, which is, I don't know what brand that is exactly, but
Trojan makes them too. They
yeah.
all make them. I mean, that's condoms for every size penis. Okay, small to extra
And
large,
also the
guys.
the feeling too,
They got
no,
all
they,
the
they got they
feelings.
got condoms where you would forget that you even have a condom on.
Yeah.
So, it should have no impact on how good sex feel or anything. So the men, they just can't really complain because there's so many varieties. And like I said earlier, if you get the right condom, you won't even notice the difference. So,
And guys too, it can enhance your performance
make you
because
last longer.
yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of benefits to that now, but on a serious note, we talked about that through that end. But on a serious note, now the only way that you guys that you can really prevent a pregnancy,
It's by
90% is
condoms.
condoms now.
And besides condoms for pregnancy prevention, also STD prevention.
Right, exactly. So you should always have one, at least two on you.
Yeah, regardless. Especially
Regardless.
with these, one night stands and casual encounters or whatever.
And no one's saying, believe me when I tell you, no one's telling you that you can't
Have sex.
have sex, whether
Just
it's
be
random.
responsible with it.
Right. I mean, no one's telling you who you can sleep with. No one's telling you that because believe me, like I said, as healthy human beings, whether you're gay, whether you're straight, whether you're bi, does not matter. So at the end of the day, what we're saying is that since this decision was made, and since our politicians don't want to respect our choices that we had, make your voting power.
Oh, that's another thing too. Like she said, with the guys don't want to be responsible for this. Like, there might be people on the Supreme Court itself that got a woman pregnant and nobody knows about it. Because a lot of, not all men, but quite a sizable portion have a lot of mistresses, one or plenty. And if the abortion thing is banned, then they're in a jam too because they got to take care of a illegitimate child that they're not ready for, and it comes out. So men not really thinking about it because that's gonna make you're gonna end up having create a life that you weren't trying to create, and so you have to take responsibility for it. So these men that have mistresses, they need to think about that too, since they can't, since the woman they're messing with can't access the abortion and the Plan B and all this stuff. You end up in a pickle.
He's absolutely right. And we're about to wrap this up in a minute, but oh, I'm sorry about that. I want to say something about back alley abortions. This is going to cause a whole bunch of mess because
Deaths, illnesses, infertility,
permanent damage to the woman's body.
which is going to be medical, costly, psychologically damaging.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, as we want to conclude, I want to say again that abortion, the lack of the ban on all women on abortion not only affects the woman, it affects the entire world. Because again, guys, you have mothers, sisters, cousins, anybody that's a woman that's over the age of 12 That's about the average age, as I mentioned, about starting the menstrual.
As well as men who have mistresses.
Right. So think about this, food for thought. And I'm going to have my son have the final parting words as well. Go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah. Thank you, Mom, for talking about this with me. And I want to thank everybody for checking out the video. And I'm hoping that this helps keep the conversation going in a positive direction. And me and my mom, we wanted to get our thoughts out about this. So I want to thank everybody, and I hope everybody can have a good day, hopefully. So
yeah, and as my son said, Johnny, I want to thank everybody for taking time to review this video, share the video, just keep the conversation going. And again, as we end this, we want to say again, this is our opinions only. We just want to say our piece of how we feel and hoping we can actually maybe open the eyes of some people today that may have thought just been started, oh, that's good that this happened. I want you all to
see it from the other person's view.
Yeah, think about it from the other person's view, and maybe have look at it in different eyes. You know what I mean? And that's all we're trying to do. And again, men, we love you. Like I said, there's not a bad thing about men because men.
And also too, it has nothing to do with race because it affects both genders. So pretty much it's a global. Right. It's a global. It's a global issue.
Right. Exactly. So we love you and thank you for watching. And we'll make another video soon, okay? Take care. Thank you for attending another Johnny Speaks stream.